Madame de Polignac.
It's dreadful, Aegis. All is lost.
How were you able to leave some clue?
Earlier, after you ventured out into the palace grounds, all of the machines that were guarding us set out after you. I seized the opportunity to go to the stables and jump into a horseless carriage.
What are you doing here, Madame?
The children, Aegis. Charlotte and the Dauphin. The Queen and the Marquis de Lafayette did everything they could do to save them from the King's madness. They spent days working out every detail of this operation with the greatest secrecy. The preparations for departure with our accomplices in the Queen's house. The children's escape hidden inside this wagon. Our meeting here, in this very place. Then our departure with the riders who were to ensure our safe passage all the way to Austria. They would have been safe there with their uncle, the Emperor. But you can see for yourself. The children are nowhere to be seen. Poor Monsieur Cléry. He was the Dauphin's valet. The poor soul gave his life to protect the little ones.
Madame. Madame. Four horses for 3 men. Someone is missing. A red cap with a rooster embroidered on it. A list of staging posts between Paris and Liège. Perhaps Madame de Polignac will know what this means. Madame, the attackers all bear the same red cap with an embroidered rooster.
It's the symbol worn by those who support the Duc d'Orléans.
One of them had a map indicating all the staging posts from here to the Principality of Liège.
Liège? That rabble-ridden city is where the Duke and his miscreants have established their base.
Over here, there are 4 dead horses. And the body of a 3rd man wearing a red cap.
4 horses for 3 men. That means one assailant managed to get away. It's beyond doubt. The Duke's men have taken the children. They're the ones behind this ambush. And they knew every detail of our plans. We were betrayed.
But surely the ambush did not go exactly as planned. 3 of them lost their lives.
That's true. If only we could catch the one who was able to escape. But now that I think about it, the riders that the Marquis de Lafayette promised us, if they made it here, they may have been able to surprise the kidnappers and stop them from carrying out their misdeed. By the grace of God, they may already be on their way to Vienna with the children.
I shall get to the bottom of this. Which garrison is this squad from?
They are stationed at the Hôtel des Invalides. The riders must have left from there.
Very well. I will try to retrace their steps. As for you, please return to the Queen at once. You have taken enough risks as it is.
Find the children, Aegis. Je vous en supplie.
Monsieur,
What can I do for you, madame?
how do you intend to counter the king's actions?
Unfortunately, we don't have the upper hand. For now, we can only hope to protect ourselves from him. I am convinced that something is afoot. Something that could destroy all our hopes in an instant.
You have my full attention.
You should know that I am a gunpowder commissioner. As such, I oversee the provision of gunpowder to the kingdom's arsenals, l'Arsenal de Paris in particular. For the past 2 days, a large quantity of gunpowder from Marsangy has been sitting near Les Invalides. It's in a warehouse by the factories. But the men I sent to take possession of the cargo and transport it to the Arsenal have gone missing. Do you realize what this means?
The gunpowder could have fallen into our enemy's hands.
It's possible. One thing is certain. It's enough to destroy half of Paris. Whether it is still in the warehouse or has fallen into the wrong hands, we must find it urgently. Then, if possible, we must neutralize it.
How?
Simply by placing it in contact with water. Nothing could be easier in theory, but we must find a way to flood it.
Flood the gunpowder? You're out of your mind, Lavoisier. We're in the most desperate of situations and you want to deprive us of such a valuable resource. What will our cannons use once we have formed our army of patriots?
Your army, Marquis, is presently but a figment of your imagination.
I see. So you're one of those men who would sound the retreat before the battle has even begun.
I will go to the warehouse. Once I have located the powder, I will decide what to do with it. Monsieur,
What can I do for you, madame?
I did not find the warehouse.
Vraiment? It's near Les Invalides, not far from Monsieur de Vaucanson's workshop.
Monsieur,
What can I do for you, Aegis?
I went to the meeting point you indicated. I had an unexpected encounter there.
Get to the facts. Who did you meet there?
Madame de Polignac, the Queen's favorite. She made no secret of her reason for being in that desolate place. So now I know all about the precious cargo that is the cause of your great concern.
Seigneur. The children. What happened? Tell me that nothing bad has happened to them.
That remains to be determined. One thing is certain. Charlotte and the young Dauphin are missing. The evidence points to an ambush by the Duc d'Orléans' men. They apparently attacked the wagon the children were hiding in.
How the hell did they know?
This ambush could not have taken place without an accomplice. You were betrayed.
A plague on Orléans and his damned informants. They have taken the children.
That still remains to be seen. It seems that the Duke's men were interrupted while carrying out their task. 3 of them lost their lives. A 4th was able to escape.
Excellent. I bet it was my hussars who sent the vermin running. But why the hell haven't they reported to me yet?
Only they could tell you that.
Would you be so kind as to go and find them? The lives of these poor children hang in the balance. My hussars are stationed at Les Invalides. That's from where they were to set off for Gros Caillou.
I went to the meeting point you indicated. I have...
Get to the facts.
Madame, she made notes of...
What?
That's...
But
Own...
which my
Monsieur,
What can I do for you, Aegis?
I went to the...
Get... What?
That's...
But which my
I went to the meet...
Get... What?
That 3 of them...
Excellent. But why the...
Only they...
Would you be so... My hussars...
Monsieur,
Do you bring me glad tidings?
safe and sound. He is at the Société des Amis des Noirs. with Monsieur Raymond and the Bishop of Nancy.
Very well. Very well. May Providence allow them to reach us safely. Though I despise war, we must rally the people for battle as soon as possible. A reliable source tells me the arsenal at Les Invalides is overflowing with weapons, but a royal automat guards it. I now have no doubt that you are capable of defeating such a creature. But are you prepared to go back into the fray?
Yes, I am.
Very well. Try to clear the way so we can access the Hôtel des Invalides. Once you've done that, we'll take care of the rest. A handful of patriots are already there. Their task was to open a passage to the east, through the Faubourg Saint-Germain.
Very well. I will go and find them. Were you present when the Estates General was dissolved?
Oui, madame. I had a front row seat. I witnessed what it cost to defy the crown. We laid bare before the king the abject misery of his subjects. It was more than he could suffer. So he had the people's representatives dispersed by means of bayonets. At least we only had to contend with soldiers made of flesh and blood. Positively angelic compared to the machines that have swept through Paris.
Were you present?
Oui, madame. We laid so...
Goodbye, Monsieur de Robespierre. Reaching Les Invalides by the moat. I shall have to go round it through the Faubourg Saint-Germain. According to Monsieur de Robespierre, his men have cleared a path for me. This coat of arms. It's from the Bastille. Monsieur Lavoisier's gunpowder was taken to the Bastille. pulled away. These grooves prove it. Monsieur de Robespierre's men. They perished in the line of duty.
No, proszę. De Grasse, I don't want to die. Not like this. Oh, if I had known, I would have set fire to that monster factory long ago.
A monster factory?
Demonic forges. The Gehenna where you were smelted, just like all the murderers of your kind.
Monsieur, I have no intention of harming you. I have come to put an end to the King's actions.
If you're telling the truth, then go away, and let me live. Au nom du ciel, put down your weapons. Please, I beg you to spare these poor people.
These poor people? But the streets are empty. There is not a soul there who is still alive.
There are still those who resist. Some good people came here earlier and asked me for a drink. They swore they would liberate the Hôtel des Invalides. They looked exhausted, but utterly determined to fight to their very last breath.
Mats, have you observed their movements?
Led by those machines went by here. Countless wagons, loaded with barrels. They came from the north, most likely from the factories. I think something terrible is going to happen.
What do you fear will happen?
I don't know, but I have a terrible feeling. Laissez-moi à présent. You'll draw those creatures to us.
The Luxembourg Gardens. I should keep looking.
Athénaïs, pour l'amour de Dieu, run and hide!
What do you mean, Papa?
Hurry, I beg you! The Count is at our door. He shall take us away!
Good heavens!
Don't worry about me. Run, I say. Run!
Escape to that hiding place in the Luxembourg Gardens. If I could find out where it was, I could track Athénaïs.
They're after us! You must carry on, I beg you!
I'll never make it. I'm out of breath.
Por amor de Dieu! Suzanne, just a bit more! We're almost there!
The Ottomans ravaged the church and slaughtered the faithful.
It's going to give way!
Right, Susan! It's too late!
It's going to be all right. This machine is alone and the door is barricaded.
It won't hold. Did you see how easily those demons entered the church?
Don't be afraid. I mean you no harm.
Oh, Senor, he can speak.
What do you want with us, Automat?
What happened in this church?
You should know. It was your kind that slaughtered these lambs. I don't think those who were able to escape stand much of a chance either.
They're
hiding in the catacombs behind the church.
That the automats took alive.
The gentleman.
Smartest idea.
That's enough questions now. Leave us be, Vertu.
des Invalides. Here, I should be able to cross the moat easily.
debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes. Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
My dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh, no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
What did you see and hear before?
I told him, did I?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur.
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, You may consider the Cordelia Convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him. My abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Well, my life and my fortune as well. I refused to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts. Bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire de fer in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
A word, s'il vous plaît. Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. I am very pleased to find you here with us within the shelter of these walls.
I found a document written in a script that I was unable to read.
Let me see. Ah, je vois. These pages were written using some sort of shorthand. A variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my ideas as they come.
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to decipher. Je crois. I believe it's an autopsy report. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur B. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
What is prussic acid?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from the cochineal, an insect.
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison, of the most dangerous sort. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison.
Aegis? Is everything all right?
The clues I found at the warehouse suggest that the gunpowder was moved to the Bastille.
Diable! You must find a way to get there and put an end to this threat.
The clues I found at the warehouse suggest that the gunpowder was moved to the Bastille.
Diable! You must find a way to get there and put an end to this threat.
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
How was your search at the Vaucansons' home?
I found this penknife there. I was struck with a vision as soon as I picked it up. I saw Mademoiselle de Vaucanson running from the Comte de Cagliostro. This letter refers to a hiding place where she often sought refuge. It's in the Jardin du Luxembourg.
I know the place. One day, Eugène and I were walking in the Luxembourg gardens when suddenly Athénaïs jumped out from our hiding place like a wild animal. It was a startling, almost frightening sight. The spot is on the edge of the garden, hidden by vegetation between two statues.
Goodbye, Monsieur B.
Have you located Athénaïs' hiding place?
No, not yet.
Look carefully. Remember...
Goodbye, Monsieur B. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do?
The clues I...
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Eh bien. Did you come bearing news from Monsieur Marat?
No, not yet.
I have it on good authority that he's the only person who could show you a way to reach the Bastille. Don't forget.
Is your plan to arm the populace going...
Oh, far from it, madame. Even if they were armed and fought...
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. They are seized by an irrational fear. One so great that this makes it impossible to do anything.
The locations you mentioned, a statue hold...
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear...
Lanterne des morts. Lanterns of the dead.
ancient stone pillars that are found near our ancestors kept a fire gut. Today, no one knows what they were used for. Others claim that human bones, some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented soul.
That makes sense and confirms my observation. I am now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been cast, and that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in.
Paternoster quies in celis, sanctificetur.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the...
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparition.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong.
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to...
Take a look at this ledger, Monsieur Lavoisier. I found it by the factories.
Let's see. Steel, molybdenum, very good. Tiens, donc, tungsten and zirconium. This master blacksmith knows his trade. These metals can be used to make the strongest alloy imaginable, as long as you have a fortune to invest.
For that, our clockwork tyrant knows no better.
Well, Monsieur Lavoisier, is there any way to
Break it? Certainly not. But mineral acid could... I would recommend... sulfuric acid or vitriol, if you prefer to use its common.
Where can I obtain some vitriol?
I had some, but my laboratory at Larsen... I can't tell you any more. You should ask my colleague, Monsieur Bailly. He uses similar substances.
Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you?
Where can I obtain some?
I had some, but my laboratory... he uses...
Goodbye.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur Necker.
Madame? Eh bien, do you come bearing good...
I'm not done.
Don't give up. Remember, that's in the foot. As for the book...
Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening, Aegis.
I went to the meet. I had an
Get to the facts.
Madame de Polignac. She made no secret, so now I know.
Seigneur, what happened?
That remained the evidence.
How?
This ambush.
A plague?
That still remains. 3 of them lost their lives.
Excellent. I bet it was my hussars. But why the hell haven't they...
Only they could tell.
Would you be so kind as to go and find them? My hussars are stationed at
Goodbye.
Aegis, I'd like to talk to you about my research. Do you have a few moments to spare for me?
Certainly, mon père.
I've carefully collected the testimony of our companions here. Then I compared them with the observations made during my investigation of the man who... I came to quite the shocking conclusion. I believe I've like clocks that never need winding. They get their energy from the souls of the... They drink from the anima essence that permeates the purgatory. These machines feed on the dead. The greater the massacre, the deeper the river where they...
Is there any way to stop the bloodshed?
I believe there is always hope, Aid. As long as I remain free to pursue my research. I keep thinking about the 3 Nemes.
The alchemist?
Precisely, mon ami. And this leads me to...
What have we to fear from an alchemist who died nearly...
Not him, per se. Rather the heretic who is exploiting his...
What do you fear?
What do I fear? Nearly 2 months ago, the king forbade anyone from setting foot inside the Église Saint-Jacques. He had the priests forcibly removed. Since then, only our Father in Heaven knows what they've been doing there. hidden away from the people of Paris.
Mon Dieu.
My thoughts exactly, Monseigneur. Legend has it that Flamel was
What is the lapis philosopher?
The Philosopher's Stone. Where do I begin? No one knows its true nature. All that is known is that it is said to grant untold riches. Its very existence is questioned, of course. Just imagine what sinister purpose the king and his accomplices might find.
Where is this?
In the church's crypt. The priests always ensured that it... But now they're no longer there to protect it. We need to know for...
But how? There are automats everywhere.
Ages.
Oui, mon père.
Will you help us get to the bottom of this?
Did you not say that it was
There is perhaps a solution. The penitent's door behind the Châtelet leads to the Quartier de l'Hôtel. It's only opened on Good Friday, but this year, I had the honor, and here is the key.
Goodbye, Mon.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
How is your research on Nicholas Flamel?
I have done nothing yet.
Don't take too long. Don't forget that the church isn't far from the Hôtel.
Goodbye. My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again, so we missed you when we had to leave our shelter. The path that led us to this
Goodbye, Monseigneur.
Allez en paix.
Monseigneur.
What can I do for you, Ish?
Goodbye.
Allez en paix.
Monsieur Raymond.
Aegis, it was very unwise of us to...
It is a miracle that we got...
What do you want to talk...
Have you ever heard of the club?
No, monsieur.
Those from Saint-Domingue, and they are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going. And they worship nothing but money. Regrettably, my interests are 2 months ago. I was in Le Havre to settle some... When I overheard a conversation between two planters from... If they are to be believed, the Club de Marcillac is plotting to create sleepless des esclaves sans sommeil. It's hard to say, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night. Our organization will not let these poor souls...
Aegis, we must look into this.
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to...
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre?
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself?
I fight every minute of every day to improve...
If that's the case, then why wait? You preach abolition, yet the truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because you're
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. What would happen to all these people if I freed... I would be condemning them to the most abject misery.
Any reform, revolutionary or not...
This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself. At La Belle Gabrielle, there you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a week. And my plantation is no less...
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important...
Monsieur, calm yourselves. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is... We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless... Aegis, you are the only one who stands... How is your research on Nicholas Flamel?
I have done nothing.
Don't forget the church isn't...
Goodbye. Monseigneur.
What can I do for you?
Goodbye.
Allez.
Did you go to the Hotel de...
No.
Remember...
What fate?
According to tradition, this is those as...
Are you...
I am fortunate.
Naturally.
You are quite alone.
I haven't been back to... I alas, late and then, mon Dieu.
What is...
We are... And we... But it, yeah, alas.
I hope to...
See you...
Have you located Athanasius' hiding place?
No.
Look carefully.
Would you happen to know where I could find some vitriol?
Sulfuric acid? Of course. Combined with sea salt and green copperas, we use it to polish the lenses of our telescopes. But I don't know how much we have.
You would need to go to the Louvre and take a look at the observatory's storeroom to find out.
If you will allow me to.
Of course, madame. Here is the key.
I have not yet
As I said, you will find it in my...
Goodbye.
How is your research on Nicholas? Don't for the
Goodbye. Monsieur de Mirabeau. Minister Necker claims that you are a familiar...
That old story. Will it hound me? And this, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor. To what do I owe the displeasure of having...
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the King's chamber.
What lock could resist your touch?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Well, let me think. After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear monsieur. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier. I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you something you can use to blow the door off that stubborn safe.
Good.
Now, if you'll forgive me, I have...
You are forgiven.
In that case, it...
How is your research on Nicholas Flamel?
I have done nothing.
Don't take too long. Don't forget that the tomb is the church, isn't...
Goodbye. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Agent?
I would like to access the contents of a safe that... Dare I ask for your help, Monsieur Lavoisier?
And how can I be of...
I need gunpowder to break through...
Gunpowder? But I don't have a spare... Do you think I just walk around with...
Oh. I apologize.
Mirabeau? What is this? Where is the animal?
He has left.
Eh bien. I'm... If I could inspect the safe and determine what but given the circumstances...
I understand. The clues I've...
Yeah.
Where can I...
I can't... You should not... He used...
Goodbye.
Have you located Athanasius' hut?
No.
Look carefully.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is... Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask...
But I'm an astronomer, Mono. I know my way around lenses, Phil, but I've never given a moment's thought. God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was... Où est-il, ce brave homme?
He has left.
Excuse me? That's madness. What was so important?
Intriguing indeed. Monsieur Necker. Goodbye,